मोहित राणा नहीं आ रहा है। उसकी जगह पे मिस्टर अविनाश चंद्र आ रहे हैं।
Yes, ma'am. I've already joined. I am
या
Abhinav.
या
His
या
counterpart.
ही इज हेड रिस्क। हाँ, ही इज देयर ऑलरेडी। वो डायरेक्टर है। एक मिनट। So welcome all. We would now start the webinar, and I'll hand over to Dr. Swabal Paul, a vertical head of policy advocacy, industry building, and capacity building, to take over.
Thank you. Thank you, Savita. So, welcome. I there is one office. There is a request to all of you that if you can write your name and designation and the name of the institution in your uh, chat box will be helpful for us logistically to make a report out of it as well. Now, you know that microfinance post-COVID, we are seeing a lot of it happening. Uh, Sometimes we are expecting that it is going on well. Then third party they started telling that no, it is not going on well. And over and above this media, they are making out makes out of it. And in many cases, you know what I can understand that everybody is the like mastermind for microfinance. Microfinance is a very niche area. Microfinance is a totally different, although we call it parabanking internationally, but it is not banking. It is much more than that. It is dealing with the poor people. It is dealing with their crisis. It is dealing with this your funding. It is dealing with operations, everything. So, as we understand, microfinance is a totally different thing. Microfinance, although yeah, it is also financial inclusion. It is also like the providing finance to the poor people. But over and above, we have to look at from the different lens. Now, post COVID, we are seeing that a lot of ups and downs. One of the things that we are seeing that the challenges, both demand and supply side, I can understand the challenges in the rating. The microfinance segment, they are telling that the rating agencies are downgrading us without consulting us. Microfinance institutions are telling that we are not getting the right kind of uh, rating grading, especially looking at the situation where we are not getting funds from anywhere. And on the other side, rating agencies, they are telling that we do not have, we are third party. We go to the field, we go to the office, we see the things and we develop the rating and we send it to the microfinance institutions. So this is the third party observation. So, but a lot of things, a lot of funding and everything, it depends on the rating. Now,
Now, a lot of things. Hope I'm audible. Okay, now
Yes, sir.
possibly
Now
I'm.
you are audible.
Okay, sorry. So what I was trying to tell you people that both of the demand side, supply side, especially in this COVID situation, post-COVID situation where this funding is not coming properly, and there are a lot of negative observations. Although we are doing the best possible thing by us, both of the demand side and supply side of the assessment like this rating, we are getting diverse view. From the microfinance sector, we are seeing that they're telling that this rating agencies are downgrading us without consulting us. It is very tough for us because rating is the one depending on which we get the funds. Now the rating agencies, they're coming up with their hands are also tied possibly. They are telling that whenever we go, this third party assessment, we go to the field, we check they check the papers, we talk to the senior members, we talk to the CEOs, we get the data, and we come up with the report, and we send it to microfinance institutions. So, and our this rating tool is also very static. So they do not have anything. Where can we converge? Where can we make a bit different? What are the parameters? Already we have sent you that what exactly we'll be discussing over here, that observations from the current sector performance and challenges, strategies to stabilize the growth portfolio, maintaining asset quality, understanding historical baggage in rating, mitigating the impact on future assessments, approaches to improve operational efficiency. So these are all these are all what we want to understand from the rating agencies, that how can we revive, what's their observation on the sector, how can we revive this one, in which area, when we are seeing a bit of ray of hope from the different news and our internal news, that when your this government is possibly coming up with a credit guarantee mechanism, where are we standing? How can we improve our rating to get the right kind of support from government? So these are all what we'll be discussing today. We do have very eminent discussions today. We do have Avinash Chandra from Paid Risk from Infomerics. We do have Sudhir from April. Avinash is your head risk in Infomerics. Sudhir is ED of April. We do have Pankaj Naik from India Ratings, who is director. We have Pratik from ICRA. Pratik is sector head, financial sector rating. So we have these eminent discussions today. I would like to hear from Avinash first. That Avinash, what's your view? What's Infomeric's view on the sector? How can we improve? Like, let us first understand around that what's the observations of the different agencies on the status of microfinance at this point of time.
Sure. So thank you for calling us here. Indeed, a very pertinent discussion. But I would like to start with any deliberation that happens on microfinance. Now, I, as a professional, believe that the impact is macro. We might call it microfinance, but the impact is very macro. So any discussion with respect to MFI cannot be limited to that sector itself. It has to be seen from a broader perspective of country as a whole with respect to that target market for the MFIs and then this individual operations. As you asked, my answer on the outlook would be in two parts. One would be the current and one would be the forward looking. So current, of course, when we talk to these MFIs, little discomfort can be seen very quickly, right? And these discomfort has 3-4 different aspects. starting from the same market where they are, the new markets where they want to get into, their lenders from where they source the funds, how they would be sourcing the funds, and how would they be increasing their business, how would they be increasing their scale. So if you ask me, representing my organization's view, yes, in long term, definitely very important sector, very comfortable, very positive. But the moment you talk of current situation, maybe another couple of quarters, it will be slow. It will be wise to be slower rather than just slow. And the consolidation of their own different pillars of their operations would be really, really keenly watched by institutions like us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So yes, may not be couple of what we are having problem is the funding. Overall, if you see, it has decreased, but it is now very skewed towards the bigger MFIs. The mid-size and the smaller MFIs are really having trouble. There lies the problem, and these institutions, they work in the niche area. They take a lot of risks. So how to support them would be my question in the next round. Then I'll now let me go to Pankaj. I will keep Sudhir at the end because Sudhir is very much insider. He has long history of working in the segment, so I may be looking for his observation towards the end. I'll be going to Pankaj. Pankaj from India Ratings. Pankaj, what's your overview on this?
Yeah, hi. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible, Pankaj.
Thanks for inviting me, and I represent India Ratings. So, the sector did go through challenging times. FY25. In fact, we saw a lot of rating movements on the negative side uh, for the sector, and this was because of inherently asset quality issues, where there was borrower over leveraging, and the quantum of debt that they were carrying on their personal balance sheet was too high to get serviced by their income. Now, after having taken a lot of pain in terms of write-offs, in terms of provisioning, I think the sector is uh, kind of out of the woods because they have taken a lot of write-offs. The credit cost did go up significantly in FY25 and even in H1 FY26. It is on the higher side. But we believe that FY27 will see a good amount of moderation in the credit cost, and the profitability will go up. Collection efficiency is now showing an improving trend. And thanks to all the guardrails, that MFIN had proposed in terms of the total quantum of debt on the balance sheet of the GLG borrower, the total number of lenders that have given money to one particular borrower, and all of those norms, I think they are extremely important to onboard the right kind of customer. So we believe our house view is that FY27 will be a year where there would be a modest growth, but there will be a good amount of reduction on the credit cost front.
Thank you, Pankaj. Just to inform you that the guardrail has always been put forward by Sadhan as well. The same kind of thing what MFIN has prescribed. We also prescribed the same thing, almost same thing, not the same thing to our members. We are seeing that the market is getting sanitized. It's a very good thing, but in that process, lot of your probable good customers are getting ostracized. That's also thing. But one thing has definitely happened that the good face, the the good clients are also coming. Before some time, what we were seeing that the clients, they knew that money is available. They were also accessing the fund because they are now very mature after 6, 7 cycle. I mean, many a cases we have seen at least 4 cycles are gone. So 4 cycle means almost 8 years. So after that, they're very much matured. they were trying to access the fund for whatever need. Now they are also very calculative to access the fund. The good part is that both demand and supply side, they are having a very safe zone to promote microfinance. Yes, it is good. And I mean, I'm also saying that, this sector is possibly out of woods. When we were seeing that 1 to 30 days, it has really come down. In 30 days plus, it is also showing some decreasing trend. And in case of when we were talking about our write-off and other, the provisions were already made in the system. From they are somehow writing it off. Possibly it is not impacting on their current balance sheet that much. Uh, Pratik, now it's your turn for the industry view. That what's your view from ICRA? Where are we standing? What do you want to say?
Uh, Thank you, Saibulda, and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for this very pertinent discussion. I think this is an important discussion given the time that we are at right now. FY25 indeed has been a difficult year for microfinance. We have seen significant volatility in terms of asset quality. H1 again, we saw an uptick in delinquencies, but nonetheless, Q3 we are seeing some green shoots emerging. Some of the larger players have also given their flow rates in terms of slippages that are happening, and there is an improvement. So undoubtedly, there is an improvement in terms of collection efficiency improving and slippages normalizing. But nonetheless, that baggage of whatever has slipped through in the last 1.5 years, that remains on the balance sheet to a large extent. As Saibalda rightly mentioned, a lot of provisions has been created. But on the other hand, one important aspect is that the portfolios have shrunk, partly because of write-off, partly because of asset quality issues. Some entities also might have faced funding-related challenges. So, in the midst of all this, the operational structure has also weakened to a large extent, wherein the pre provision operating profit is not sufficient for some of the entities to even cater to the normalized credit cost. So there is a requirement for them to also focus on this apart from the asset quality challenges that are there in the segment. So definitely green shoots are there. As some of my peers mentioned, there is a requirement for calibrated growth, which I think a lot of players in the industry have also acknowledged, and that is something that they are also uh, possibly guiding for in the near term, that there'll be a calibrated growth, partly thanks to the industry level guardrails which have been implemented by both the SROs as well as a cautious approach adopted by the MFIs. So green shoots are there. There is some baggage which is pertaining to the historical stress that has been absorbed in the last 1.5 years. But undoubtedly, there are some green shoots available in the industry.
Thank you very much. Sudhir, Sudhir, are you there? Is Sudhir there? Sangeeta, if you can.
I can't see Sudhir's. I can't see him there in the audience.
Okay. Can you please check with him? In the last meeting also, he was there in the planning meeting. Now, we are seeing this green shoots. We are discussing about calibrated growth. We are seeing that there are a lot of hopes in the market. Yeah, portfolio has shrunk, but how to improve that one? That's my next question to all of you. That we have seen the problem, we have seen the challenges. Microfinance every 2, 3 years, 5 years, we get this challenge. Kolar crisis, Krishna crisis was in 2006, then 2010 we have seen Kolar one, then we saw this demonetization, COVID, everything. Every time we revert back with lot of hope and strong self. Now, at this point of time, how can we leverage on this one? What are the things we should be now when this market is turning a bit? Which area should we be looking at to get better better ratings. This is the segment possible. It's very important for all of us whom we are here, whoever are here in this discussion. Would be happy to hear that one. That these are the 4 areas possibly we have to look at. These are the 6 areas possibly we have to look at to get better ratings. So once again, my sequence would be almost same. I mean, it will first I'll go to Avinash for his observations. The areas I want to understand from you, the areas we should be looking at to get to make our rating better, and what are those areas? Avinash,
I
over
would
to you.
slightly request, so that I can take away how to improve the rating part. Rather, I would rephrase this, that what all areas these MFIs should be attentive to, right? An interesting facet of MFI grading is that it doesn't speak on the repayment capacity, right, and capabilities. So out and out, if you talk of MFI's gradings, the largest and most impactful criteria would remain the operational strength. I'm sure my counterparts and my colleagues might echo the same. However, having said that, two things come in my mind basis my interaction with some of the CXOs over the last 4-5 months of these MFIs. So I'll answer again in two parts. One, their lenders. So now if you see their borrowing and where they are using this, the amount that they are borrowing, I could sense that they were so helpless, they were so restless that cost of fund was never the point that they mentioned. All that they wanted was to have fund to lend from banks, from NBFC MFI, from banks, from SFBs, and likewise, right? Now, the end result is, and I'm talking to those same CXOs just after 2-3 months, their restlessness is at the top. They are very restless about the collection part now. So now you see, the moment you talk of your fund, and within 2 months you are talking of collection, that too with kind of worried sense of explanation to a rating agency, that is something caution for me. In 2 months, the plan was so short, maybe, or maybe it was not crystallized, it was not segmented, that within 2-3 months, they are, so to say, almost sure that I'm not going to recover this part. So what I would rather answer here, that it has to be very categorically communicated to a grading agency, the agencies that they're getting graded, because you are talking, the question is about the grading only. So out of all the aspects of methodologies, these 2 points need to be clarified to the rating agencies, that which are my chunk, where all from I would be borrowing, and to all segments that as an MFI we would be putting our amount to. That is one. Second important aspect that I have experienced, that one pocket and 10 different MFIs talking of the same pocket. So I believe this segment must come forward and develop their own target market. How? That probably we can have a different session. But as a professional, I sense the market size is not increasing, and the same segment has been over leveraged by the MFIs, which is a concern for all of us.
So you are talking about primarily the new market. Exploration of new market would be the base strategy to take it forward, right?
Yes, I believe that firmly.
Okay. When you were talking about telling us that they were not talking about cost of fund now, they are talking about this there's a
Collection now.
repayment. What exactly do you want to mean that? What do you
See,
want to put
when
forward?
these MFIs, when they select a pocket, right, they select their borrowers and then they deploy the fund. Now, their cycle should be very clear. for what cycle they can sustain this capital even if they are not collected, how frequently they can revisit the same fund to the same borrower. So this for me draws strength of theirs. Could I make it clear?
Okay, got your point. I will come back to you. The second one, the same question to Pankaj. Which are the areas we should be looking at?
See, primarily, Avinash already mentioned that people were not bothered about the cost at which they are going to get money, but whether they are going to get money at all, which is obviously a very, very obvious and important question, because it's a raw material at the end of the day. Unless you borrow, you cannot expand your franchisee. Now, the question which you asked is basically what will lead to improvement in the credit profile. Now, be it grading, be it rating, I'm just using a generic term, which is credit profile of an MFI. So all the rating agencies, and I have my peers also over here, would agree that ultimately what a rating agency looks at, it looks at the overall Cramel structure of any lending entity. What's the capital, what's the resource, what's the asset quality, stability of management, the liquidity, and the earnings. What was the problem that MFIs were afflicted with? The problem was asset quality. Now, what happens is all these parameters are